Good morning. Namaste. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. We are more or less continuing from our talk last week on opening up the heart and living with love, being love, actually, all those elements that we spoke about. And, a few people requested that can we do the cord cutting, because I had mentioned that we will definitely do a simple process to learn how to open up the heart chakra, which we all know, but it's not something that we can do. But yes, there are energetic exercises that can lead you into it. So of course, I'm happy to share that too with you. Otherwise, any other reflections, anything, Srishti, would you like to say? Nitika, thank you for being here.
Yeah, I said, most welcome. Thank you for creating this beautiful platform on a Sunday morning. I think it cannot be a better way to start the week ahead. Thank you for a power-packed morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Srishti, you were saying something, then we can start off.
Yeah, Auntie, I think today's topic is, I think, a very wonderful reminder because as we are starting the new year, so it's actually a beautiful reminder for us to actually reflect over situations and people whom we have come across and to give them as a tag of a lesson or a gift for us to, see whether they were a lesson to us or whether they suffocated us or whether we learned something from them. And we are repeatedly told by you to pour love on oneself as well as onto others. But the thing is, actually, are we following it or are we not following it? And we are also told that we have to be grateful to the universe whether a particular situation or a point in life did teach us something or not. So I think today's talk is as wonderful as you are. So Auntie, over to you, to how to give us tips, how we can move forward in stepping into 2023.
Thank you, Srishti. That was a good synopsis of all that we have been doing, learning, sort of, practicing through the year. And thank you for joining in. I know you're rushed into things, and so are a lot of people today. And I didn't realize that it's a busy Sunday weekend where lots of people are committed to weddings and functions. So, yeah, but whoever's here to receive whatever the universe wants to offer to you all through me, I'm very happy to share that. And yes, Vani, I would love to start with your question.
Hi. So, I would disagree with Shrishti. Reflecting on others is, I think it's more about reflecting our own self. With all your teachings, I think we've all kind of become aware of what we should do and what we should not do. But at the same time, when the actual action comes, when we need to react, we are still, far behind. We still need to learn to hold on that three breaths that you say. We are still not, it's not become natural with us. So today
okay.
I wanted you to do specially something, like cord cutting, so you land up doing cord cutting, but to stop, yesterday only I knew my staff had done something wrong, and I knew that I wanted to not scold her, but eventually being aware, yet I scolded her. And I was very strong when I was scolding her, constantly being aware that, okay, so I think internally I was not so angry, but my volume was quite high. So she doesn't know that I was not internally angry. For her, obviously, I've been mean to her and not been a nice team leader. So, while I was scolding her also, I was like, oh, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. But it doesn't happen. So, in fact, I was looking forward to.
Yeah. So firstly, I'm going to stop you right here because I don't want you to be saying things like it doesn't happen. It's not an automatic mode of response that most of us have, because the automatic mode is going into the fear, going into the default mode of the lower chakras where we get angry, anger arises, or some other negative emotion arises, and we somehow get gripped in that. So what we need to actually do is to now practice more and more of making this non-reactive space our default mode. And that does not mean that you will not convey what you want to convey. I always repeat and emphasize this. If you need to say what you need to say, you need to say it, but from a space of awareness. Yes, you were aware that you were shouting, you were aware that your volume was more than what it should have been. So that's understandable. But the fact was that you could watch it, even though you did not have control over the way you responded, you could watch it. And that actually is the first step, Vani. So you have to applaud yourself for that too, and stop saying that it doesn't happen. I understand what you're saying, whatever Srishti put out. Yes, maybe it sounded too idealistic, but believe me, that's the way that we have to, that's where we really, really have to reach to, and, make just for ourselves. Again, when you say that about others, being kind to others or forgiving others, whatever it is that you stated, Vani, you have to understand that self-forgiveness or self-love definitely leads to loving others. And that's why when we are living in a society, we are living in a setup, in our homes, in our work setup, or generally in society, we are going to interact with people. There are going to be differences of opinion. There are going to be conflicts that, that arise. And you don't have to agree to everything, but you also don't have to be fully disturbed and being thrown off guard in all of them. You don't have to get scattered and feel, that what I'm saying is not okay or I'm not heard. When all those things become overpowering, that's when you lose your grounding, isn't it? So what Srishti is saying is that yes, we need to bring that, and the first step by bringing that love and compassion, living with that love, will only happen when we firstly stop correct ourselves in the words that we are using. Okay, Vani, and I say this not just to you, to everybody, and more to myself, because I know every time I'm repeating it, it's a kind of reinforcement that is happening for me too. So we have to understand that even if we are not there or we're not to that level, we have to first set that platform for ourselves and pick ourselves up from there. Okay, so where am I still not able to, have a grip on my emotions or on my reactions? And we don't want to be that person where the whole staff thinks, oh my God, here she is. Now she's going to shout and scream. We don't want to be that person, isn't it? So we have to bring in that compassion for ourselves. And when you look at anybody, remember these few things, and I've repeated them on this platform, and most of you have worked with me independently also. Understand that the other person is doing to the best of their ability. If we look at the broader picture, I am so very clear about it, and I can, reinforce it here, that everybody is an extension of that same consciousness as you are. Yes, we lose it sometimes on our staff or people who we have the ability to react to, that they're not doing this or they're not following the norms. But understand that they are doing their best that they can at this moment. And you have that, wisdom probably to look at it from a higher perspective. They may not have it at that point, but that does not mean that you put them down in any which way. In your heart, be loving, be compassionate, be forgiving for yourself, just as you want to be forgiven by others. Look at those people also with the same compassion. They are trying their best, isn't it? And why would they want to do things to offend you? They are doing to the best of their ability. If they could do better, if you could do better, you would, isn't it? And similarly for them. So being in that awareness, understanding that yes, this is what this is what the person is doing to the best of his or her ability, and then maybe bringing in your opinion, or in a way correcting them, or telling them the way you want things to be done with compassion. You will be always heard with compassion. Does that make sense, Vani?
Totally.
Yeah.
Sujata, another thing I also, like, just because now we are getting aware day by day, is that, I also felt that, we have the power. That's why we are scolding people who are junior to us. But somehow karmically it comes back to us also. And when we have been shouted at, then we don't like it and we get, so you
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not just about being shouted at, it's about how you're feeling inside. Like someone may be very silent, you know. A person like me, a lot of times will not share or speak or express. I would rather just be silent. But what is the energy that I'm holding in my heart for the other person? You know, whether it is my child or whether it is somebody working for me. I may not be always so expressive, but all of us need to reflect on it and think, what is it that I am holding inside for this person? Is there vengeance coming in and I'm just like shutting myself up? Or is there gratitude that, okay, the person might not have answered me or responded or done things to the way I wanted them to be done? But at least there is somebody who is doing this, offering this, asking this, whatever the situation might be. And I may not be able to voice it to that level, but what am I feeling inside is most important. In fact, we just concluded our 6-week program last week with a group in Singapore, mostly people from Singapore. And the closing words really were of that program were that it is not about what you want to create. It is not about, oh, I want a job or I want a better, a healthy body or I want a better relationship. It is how I want to feel in that job, how I want to grow in that relationship, how I want to feel in that relationship. Create that feeling, even if you fake it. A lot of times in energy work, as you know, we say fake it till you make it. So fake it, you know, fake up that feeling, bring that up, and slowly, slowly, that will become your way of responding. That will become your default mode. Exactly what Vani said, that we are not there. We are there, but we are not able to connect to that feeling because it doesn't come naturally. The natural way of responding is to react or to shout back or to respond in a particular way. But with our practice, with our awareness, if we bring in that, that start making that our default mode. If we just with ourselves start sitting, so this is how I want to feel in this relationship. This is how I want to feel in this job. This is how I want to feel in the body. Slowly, slowly, that feeling, that vibration will become so familiar to you that you would want to be in that positive state more and more. And then it'll be easier. Give yourself, be patient with yourself. Give yourself time to make that your default mode. And then you will not feel like engaging or shouting or responding in that particular way. And I don't say it from an egoic way. We have to understand this subtle difference. A lot of times we say, I'm not responding. We feel that the person is too below our dignity to understand or to, for me to put in my energy there. That's not the space I want to be responding from. I want to be responding from a place of self preservation, that I don't want to slip down into that shouting low vibration of anger. Let me just be here in the stillness, in this peaceful space that I am. And if that thing is really bothering me, let me first center myself. Let me do a little cutting cords and then say when the right moment is, which will definitely come. We feel we have to do it now. And that creates a kind of an urgency inside us. And that's never helpful. That's never helpful. We always realize that, oh, just if I had taken a pause and, just reflected upon it or thought about it, and then chosen to move ahead, I would have responded differently. In old days or when we were younger, we were told, okay, if you are angry, just count till 10 or count from 10 to 1. What are you doing? You're only gaining that little pause that you need before responding. Yes, Praneeth, you nodded your head very strongly there. Yeah, so it's just learning to take that pause. And lot of times the ego is so rushing to just bring in and charge back, get back instantly. And that's where we spoil or we lose out on that love. Right? So to take our conversation ahead from what we have spoken today, the simple things that I'm going to guide you into, of course, cutting cords, most of you know, you've practiced with me, but I will still take you through it. We'll go through it right now. And we will also do a little process to open up our heart. Now, what is opening up our heart? Opening up our heart is only about expanding your energy and connecting to the heart chakra. So you see, each chakra has emotions attached to us. If we are feeling very angry, we are always invested in the lower chakras, in the solar plexus and the lower chakras. But the moment we start coming up to the heart center and we connect to the center of unconditional love, what is it that we are going to pour out? Nothing but love, isn't it? So that is what we need to connect to more and more. And the simple 2-minute technique that I'm going to guide you into, I'm sure most of you will just love it. What we need to pray for is that we remember at that time of or that crisis to connect to it. Usually the ego is so quick that it doesn't allow us to take that moment to, bring in that thought and practice something for that moment. Yes, Nitika, I'm just trying to read your question, but if you don't mind, you could just voice it.
Yeah, I've been in this field for a while, but Abhi, we oftentimes it does happen that the episode happens. Unknowingly, we raise our voice and then it's over. But that thing keeps playing in our mind. And unknowingly, we do slip into the guilt mode also.
Mhm.
I'm here to ask, how can we ourselves pull out of this?
Yeah. So, of course, the guilt mode does come in because obviously, the moment
Mm,
the thing has passed away, you realize I shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have shouted, I shouldn't have spoken in that. But that's where you need to forgive yourself. Again, understanding that if you could do better at that moment, you would have done. And slowly, slowly, uh, reflect on that so that you don't slip back into that same mode, especially when with people around you who have that kind of a pattern or a behavior which they're not able to get out of, but they're also showing you a pattern or a behavior within you that triggers that response, isn't it? So when come to that understanding that let me help myself by trying to break this pattern and not responding in this way. Most of the times we know what the person has done and we know that that's a pattern with those people. So raising your vibrations to that level and actually starting to live with a lot of love, with a lot of compassion, and that is not something that you if you start living with that, it's not going to be difficult practicing that, because we've all arisen from there, isn't it? Our core is all love, and that's what we need to do. And again, like I said, if you need to attend to that person from that space of love, and you need to say something, you can scold a person, you can put your point forward, you can argue with the person, but from the heart center, not from the ego space. And we all here on this group know that subtle difference. We are aware of that subtle difference of whether we are coming from the heart space or we are coming from the mind space. And to explain it further to some of you who may be new to this group, if what you're saying makes you uncomfortable, if what you're saying makes you feel heavy in the body, not just saying, even feeling, if it makes you feel heavy in the body, then understand it's not coming from the heart. But if it makes you feel that, yes, this is, I mean, it's fine, I need to say this to the person and this is how it is meant to be, then trust that this is how it is meant to be. This is just how it is meant to be. So fully trust and honor what you're feeling. But be truthful for positive as well as negative feelings. If you're feeling that, yes, I'm not feeling good about it, pray that you're able to get over that trigger or that habit. And you will see that you will find ways to do that. You will surely find ways to do that.
Adi, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Um, Adi, what if what if the so-called, I don't know if it's dislike, but what if the feeling is so strong that whenever you see the person, you feel agitated, angry, you can feel out completely off balance when that person's around. I mean, and for me, it's a very new feeling. I think I am finding it very difficult. It's almost like I don't want to face the person, but because the person is part of family, can't avoid the person. But I just feel that I'm just off balance. I'm agitated, angry. I don't feel confident. I feel all the lower energies.
Good. I think all of us have such triggers, and all of us either have had people like this in our lives or do have people who bring this in. So, thank you for asking this question, because I'm sure you asked this for a lot of us. So, and mostly, as you said, they're people of our family. So, they are within our periphery, and it's not easy to just walk out of, these relationships. Whereas there are other relationships that you can choose not to engage in beyond a point. So, firstly, understand that why are you feeling threatened in that relationship? Why is it creating a negativity in some ways in your relationship. And if you are honest to yourself, a lot of times these are very conditioned relationships. These are very conditioned. They come with a label or a badge that, okay, this person, and particularly I'm going to go into it very openly, this comes in with sometimes when we have people in our in-laws, because it's like they can never be good. They can never be. And it applies both sides, to a daughter-in-law and to a mother-in-law. Or you feel that there is a bias towards one child, and you have that kind of a sibling rivalry. It happens in a lot of relationships. But whatever it is, drop that conditioning, because it needn't be so. It just needn't be so. So firstly, if there is anything of that in the background, please erase it. Please erase it. Don't carry that, because then you are attracting that. Then you are sort of bringing that into your energy. And understand that if there are even two children in the, brought up by the same set of parents, there may be different energies towards both the children. The children themselves have different energy, and they draw differently from the parent or even from the teacher. But you don't have to think or have that kind of a bias that, I'm not liked by this person, or I'm not appreciated by this person. And that, when we build on, or we chew, or we ruminate on that thought or that feeling, then it becomes a conditioned way that whenever the person's thoughts, words, or vision comes into you, or into your in front of you, you immediately feel a trigger in your body. It's like a churning in your stomach, or a palpitation, or a heaviness on your chest. But I'm not even telling you that you need to consciously work into a space where you disconnect, or you don't, you push that feeling out, because it doesn't go. That's not how the feeling goes. Now, from today, Pritika, I say this to you and to so many other here. From today, every day, morning, evening, whether you interact with that person or you don't interact with that person, do this cutting and connecting cords. And
Okay.
open your heart, connect from a very unconditional space of love. Nothing to give, nothing to take, or at least bring yourself into a space of neutrality. Okay. And the second thing that I really emphasize is on forgiveness. Forgive yourself for feeling this negative feeling. It's a karmic, it's a line that gets imprinted in your Akashic records, that when this person comes in front of me, there is something that happens. It leaves an imprint inside. And supposing for some reason that person, say, moves on or out of your life, you will again attract that vibration through another person. And we don't want that. We're not just going to be focusing now on fixing a particular relationship or a particular thing. We are going to enhance and raise our vibrations to that level where anybody, whoever comes in whichever way they come, it's not going to trigger anything inside us. We really, really need to bring ourselves in that. I'm just going to mute you all. There's a little. Okay, thanks. So we have to grow into that space where we don't allow, these little triggers to make us lose our core of love that we all are.
Sujata, I have a question.
Yes, Praneet.
Literally in the last 2-3 months, or not even 2-3 months, like recently, in the last 6 weeks or so, there have been 2 instances where there are 2 totally different people, not even in touch with them that much or whatever. And other people have come and told me that they're saying the most horrific things about me. I'm not in touch. One I haven't seen in years. Another one used to be a really good friend. I'm not sure what happened. They're not even in my thought process. Like, why would someone, am I attracting this to myself? And I'm just trying to understand, like, because I don't meet them. Why would they suddenly start saying these very, very horrible things? And like you've said, ignore, it's not my business. But if there's anything I'm doing, or if I need to cut cords or whatever, do we even acknowledge this, or we just do our puja part and get on with life? It's their thing.
So you have to understand that definitely I would say acknowledge it, because the fact that it's coming up here, it has some kind of a residual energy within you for whatever reasons. Now we don't know, even the person who's conveying it to you, you don't know whether what amount of it is true or not. I'm not doubting anything, but
Yeah.
I would say that definitely cut cords, because there is some kind of a residual energy. Maybe the other person is holding, not just you. You may not be holding anything, but maybe the other person is holding some kind of an energy, some kind of a past, say, vengeance or something in their heart against you. They're jealous, whatever might be the reason. But you don't want to carry that thing ahead. Okay, there could also be something in your, which is not there in your conscious mind, but could have happened many years back, which they're still choosing to hold on to or judge you even today based on that kind of a interaction. We don't know, and we will never know.
Correct.
So you cut cords with them, do your forgiveness, and just move on. This simple process of cutting and connecting cords is so powerful. It really gives you that power back in your hands. Isn't it? It really gives you the power back in your hands. Right? So, yes, don't indulge in it beyond a point. You don't need to make it big in your head, but don't even put it down. Don't even, like, in a way in your heart, get back that, I mean, they are like that or whatever. Just bless them for where they are and what their role they needed to play in your life. And now just cut cords with them, send them love. Because see, anybody who gives out energy of hurt or negative energy is only because they are carrying that, isn't it? That quote is so evident. Hurt people hurt people. People who are hurt, they hurt people. So hurt people hurt people. So obviously they're carrying a lot of negativity for whatever reasons, may not even be related to you, in their heart. So they need love. So connect with them through unconditional cords of love. You don't need to reach out to them. Don't need to get back and asking or validating or justifying, because that is what leads to a lot of gossip, unnecessary, talk here to there. And we don't want to engage our energy there. So, and every time you connect to them and you send them love, it's actually strengthening the love within you. And it's not about connecting to a person, just a person. It's just opening up your heart to be allowing that love that you hold inside to come out and then overflow and share it with one and all. And isn't
the
it
loving feeling doesn't even come. I'm so ambivalent. I mean, they're so far from feeling love for them.
But the fact is that for some reason, this universe has sent this message to you, isn't it?
Correct.
Just to tell you, do your forgiveness with them and move ahead. So why to argue or think about it?
Correct.
Because when you speak about it, it doesn't make you feel good, isn't it?
No.
So just, and when you come into a space that, okay, somebody has sent you a message telling you that you're not you're in that person's thoughts, but not in a very positive way, obviously it doesn't make you feel good, isn't it? So, and if from that point you can send love to that person, it's just such an empowered position that you move into. You really need to be open in your heart to be able to do that, isn't it? Right? So let's just focus on doing that, and you'll see it'll all just settle down.
Auntie, I had one more question, if it's possible.
Yeah, say then, Nitika, I'll come to you. Yeah, Kritika.
Auntie, what if we're stuck in expecting an apology? How do you get over? Does cord cutting also help us get over that emotion? Because
absolutely. Which part of you wants an apology?
the part of me which wants to feel superior.
Would you want tomorrow, if a little child does something or says something to you, would you wait for her to apologize?
No.
No, because there's no ego involved there, isn't it?
Right, right.
When it comes to relationship which are egoic and the action did not happen according to what you wanted.
Right.
Right. And the other person may not even be aware of it, or may be aware of it, but may choose not to agree to what you're saying and does not wish to act in that way. Will you hold yourself hanging in the air till the time that person comes and says sorry, which may not even happen in this entire lifetime?
I think that's the barrier, Auntie. I know that it's keeping me stuck. I'm just not able to move on from that.
Don't try to. It's like, I want to hold my ear from here and I'm not able to hold it. Let's hold it from here. Let's hold it from here rather than struggling that way. So now, instead of trying to push that energy out or trying not to have expectations, that's what you say, na? Okay,
Right.
next time I'll try. I shouldn't have any expectations from that,
Right.
particularly
Right.
for an apology. And we will build so many stories that, I'm just not going to expect anything from this person. I've done so much for him or her, blah, blah, blah. Mind will come in with that whole thing, isn't it? So
Right.
stop. Whenever you catch yourself going into that mind chatter, stop. Immediately stop and open up your heart center. Cut cords. That person is draining your energy and has nothing, may not even be aware of it.
Got it.
It's only you who are holding on to that, isn't it?
Right.
So you bring yourself into that space of opening your heart center and actually bring in gratitude that this person is helping you to open your heart, to share love, to be the love that you are.
Okay.
Okay, so stop waiting for that expectation, that thing that the person will apologize, firstly. Secondly, stop telling yourself, oh, I should never expect. Let me come into a space where I don't have expectations. Again, the expectations come from a default mode, isn't it?
Right. Right.
Just stop yourself there and say, okay, so I expected this. This is not happening in my life now for whatever reason. Can I still be hanging in the air till this person chooses to understand my point of view and come and apologize? No, my life is worth much more than just hanging in the air. And shift into opening up your heart center, cutting cords with this person, just moving into gratitude, thanking that person for allowing you to connect to the love that you are, to your heart center. It may feel difficult in the beginning, but actually, if you start going there more and more and understand that that person who you're thinking is, not fulfilling your expectations, really has no meaning beyond a point in your life. And you cannot give them that power. You just cannot give them that power to hold you at ransom till they come and apologize. You may waste your entire lifetime. It's not worth it.
Yes, Auntie.
And reflect on it, and at a moment when you're feeling better or you're in a good space, ask yourself, is it really so important for me to go into this relationship only when he or she apologizes? Is there nothing else that I can cherish in this relationship? Is there nothing that I can be in gratitude for in this relationship? I'm sure you will find, joyous moments and spots also there. Focus just on that.
Sure, Auntie.
Right, it may be tough in the beginning, but if you in every relationship, I would say,
It seems rather impossible right now, but okay.
it only seems impossible, but if you reflect, be honest to yourself and see in the same relationship, is there nothing that good that has ever happened in that relationship?
No, there have been good things, yeah,
So
in the
let's
past.
just focus on that. Let's just focus on that, and you will see that you will grow out of it, because it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's not about the other person. It's not about the action. It's just your ego needing a massage and saying that, yes, Pritika, you were right and I'm sorry. It's just a
Right.
little massage, and we don't want it till it doesn't come naturally from that person.
Also, I don't want to be stuck for the rest of my life.
That's what is it. So that self-preservation is very important. So for yourself, you choose to move ahead. So do your forgiveness with that person, cut your cords with that person, and connect unconditionally at the heart. Don't say, so many times you say, I don't want to connect at the heart. But if you don't connect at the heart, you leave space for some kind of a residual energy for that negativity to come back. So we're only asking to come into a very, very neutral space where we have nothing to give and nothing to receive.
Thank you, Auntie.
Thanks, Pratika. Yes, Nitika, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a little sharing here.
Please go ahead.
So I had a very profound realization 2 days ago. Somebody had passed away in Delhi. So I was just going in, you know, post lunch for the last rides. So what I realized was that on the highway, I realized that life is a highway. It keeps going on and on. जिसका stop आएगा वो उतर जाएगा. And definitely what energy we get off that time, that is what we'll be carrying for the rest of our journey ahead. And at the same time, the same energy the people will be carrying who we are leaving behind.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it is up to us what energy we want to carry along.
Absolutely. That is so.
So I just realized, I said, life to is a highway only. I don't know what parallel reality exists because I'm not seeing that. What I'm seeing right now, that is it for me. So for not what I'm realizing, this is a highway, this will go on and on. It's a conscious choice that I need to make. Do I really want to carry all that baggage for my next lifetime? Is it worth it?
Absolutely.
So this
Forget
little
about
thing
next
I want to
lifetime.
share it here.
Yeah, not just about next lifetime. It is even in whatever years I have in this life, do I want to carry it? Again, next lifetime is not, we don't know what is there or
Yeah.
not there. It's like that
Not
story,
seen it, yeah.
the two monks who were walking, and there was a lady who needed to be carried across the river. So one of them helped that lady. He picked her up and he helped her cross the river, and he put her down at the end of the river. And both of them were moving ahead. Both the monks were moving ahead, and the other one turned around after some time and told that monk, You did such a sin, you did such a crime because you carried a woman, in your hands. So he said, I still put her down after we crossed the river, but you are still carrying her, because he was still carrying that thought
Yeah.
in the way. And, so we have so many things. And the day we realize that, oh, I don't want to carry this, right? That's when the whole realization comes. And really, it's a highway. Thank you for sharing that. It's so beautiful.
And that's when the whole energy changes.
Absolutely.
You just flip when you realize that so much needs to be cherished and being in gratitude for. Why am I still hanging there?
Yeah. And actually, it has to be your experience. It has to be true for you. I might be saying as many words as I'm saying here, but till the time you don't feel that shift, in your own energy, it is not true for you. That's why I say, because I have gone through, each one of us have gone through these things in our own ways in our lives. So when I tell Pritika also that, just keep cutting cords with this person, and you will see very soon when you encounter that person in your energy, you will not feel anything. You will not feel anything that trigger inside, and you will be amazed at yourself. And again, that does not mean that you have to go out of your way to that person or offer yourself, in any which way. You just have to stay in your center, and the rest will just happen.
I need one more clarity here.
Go ahead.
But this is for all of us here. But does that mean that going and confiding or confronting or asking apology in person, or would that mean, within heart of the hearts, we are just seeking an apology and moving on?
Yes, you can definitely in your own heart seek an apology and move on. But if you come to a point and your consciousness tells you, okay, just gather your energy, go and apologize, do that also. Don't hold yourself back. It's so empowering and really, really so
liberating.
Yeah, it's so liberating because you're unnecessarily, your ego is only holding on to that, no?
Yeah, true.
I mean, what is wrong in saying sorry? For me, it comes out so naturally because I feel that I don't want to carry anything which I might have even subconsciously said to somebody.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to carry that energy ahead in me. So if it is that you feel in your heart that, okay, and I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Even for a small child, a 3-4-year-old child, you tell them to say sorry. It's not easy for them because somewhere the ego knows that vibration, isn't it? So bring yourself to that level where you seek forgiveness. Yes, you do it, dissolve it in yourself. And then if you happen to be in that person's energy and you feel that urge is coming from inside, just go ahead. Even for Praneeth, I would say that she might not have connected to that people, but who knows, if you complete whatever you have with that person, if you ever encounter them in your life and you meet them and you meet them with a lot of love, or even if you at some point realize and say, oh, that happened many years back and I'm sorry I never got the opportunity to connect with you, just in this little way, it'll free off everything. We don't need to be carrying this baggage.
Sujata, I have a question on this. Like, one, though I can see what you're saying and doing, the other person is just so badly, like, negative, like, hates from day one. I'm just going to say she was my sister-in-law. I've never had any interaction. I never lived in the country, nothing. But she had made up her mind from day one that we are all evil.
That's the conditioning that I was talking about.
Yeah. So then, even if we've tried over the years, we tried when my brother was married, we tried to give her so much love. But at some point, we realized this is not about us. It's only so.
Yeah, so just bless her because she's only full of that hate, and we don't want that hate to be spreading out, isn't it?
Correct.
Right? And don't personalize it because that's what she's full of, and that's all that she can really offer. So, and she's choosing to hold on to certain things. Poor thing, she's suffering in her own way. So all you can do from a open heart space is to bless her and love her or send her love. That's all. And not engage beyond the point because we don't want to pollute our energy, isn't it?
No, I don't hate. Like, there's no to hate. Even you need to interact or whatever. Exactly. So I have absolutely no. But because out of left field, if someone has so much hate towards you, it's very like, to me it was like, what?
Yeah. But then just understand that again, people who are full of that hate for whatever reasons in their life, they're at that low vibration of hate. And since you do energy work, you would understand what a low energy she carries. Just bless her. Just try to lift her vibration by sending her love. Only to enhance your energy, isn't it? Only for yourself. And Bless her from your heart to, and pray that, yeah, she's able to get over that hate that she's carrying, because it is only harming her.
Right.
Yeah. Great. So let's do a little of this cord cutting that, we are, that I've been talking about. And all of us here can choose a person, a situation with whom we want to do this. And before we do that, I'm actually going to guide you into how you can, just open up your heart center. There are two ways that I know for sure you can never go wrong with. The first is simply just keep looking at anything and everything and saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It just lifts up your vibrations because you're operating directly from a space of gratitude. And that is a very, very high vibration. Even if you don't know for what you're thanking, even if you don't know why you're thanking, even if you don't know to what you're thanking, just make that a mantra and see the shift it brings in your energy. Also, the other thing that happens when we are living in so much gratitude is that the universe only showers gratitude or situations where you can be more thankful for. It's a simple law of attraction. The more you be in gratitude, shukrana, as we say, the more situations will arise in your life where you will get the opportunity to say thank you. That's one thing. Simple, easy, make thank you a chant. Secondly, I'm going to guide you into this little process. So I want you all to just sit back. Let's all make ourselves extremely comfortable. Just center yourself, take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes. Feel yourselves comfortably anchored, sitting in your lovely spaces. Close your eyes and sink into your breath. Connect to your breath. Gently breathing in and breathing out, and breathe into this heart center, center of your chest. Breathe into this. Expanding and relaxing. Actually, physically opening up the heart center. Once you've connected to the heart center, you feel that your breath is sinking in with your heart, breathing into your heart center and releasing. Bring into your vision, bring into your mind a situation, a moment, an event in your life that you really, really loved or that made you really happy. To give you a few examples, it could be, say, a moment you first saw your child, or a time when your child received an award, a great good news about something that happened in your life. Just a beautiful sunset, sitting on the beach, looking at the mountains, a place that you love to be in, which you worship the energy of a gurudwara or temple, or just sitting next to somebody you really, really love, or holding the hand or hugging somebody you really, really love. Just bring in the vision of any such moment in your life. Relive that moment right now. Bring in that memory. Bring in that memory right now. Don't wonder what happened then and now, how the situation. Just don't go into any past or future. Just bring in that memory, full stop. Not what happened before or what happened later. Just be with that memory. Fully bring in that memory. And breathe into it. Breathe in this vibration that comes into your body. Just think of yourself sitting on the beach, beautiful sunset, the sound of water, or it could be anything that calls you. Remember that moment when you heard that your child had succeeded, got admission, was rewarded. Whatever that image is true for you, take just one for the moment and just be with that moment as if life froze there right now. And be with that feeling, fully be with that vibration, that little sensation that you feel in your body, as if every cell is smiling with joy. Just be with that and connect to this energy in your body. Just store in this vibration, because this is what we call as opening up of the heart center. That moment when you were maybe applauded for a project, you received a validation for something you did. Just be with that emotion. Drop the story too. Breathe into this positive energy and connect to the sensation it creates in your body, making every cell so joyous, bringing that beautiful smile to your face. This is what we call as opening of the heart center. And you can be in this space for as long as you wish to. And this vibration will become your default mode and just your way of being. And you will attract more and more situations in your life by way of which you will allow this feeling to come more and more into your life. And in the same note, in the same energy, let's take a nice deep breath as I guide you into this cutting and connecting cord process. So gently visualize, bring that person, as much as your mind might be saying, I'm in such a nice space, I don't want to bring this person into my vision. Just take an effort to bring that person who triggers you, who you wish to neutralize your energy with. Just bring them into your energy. Just visualize them sitting opposite you. Take a moment to do that. Visualize that person sitting opposite you. And then just imagine a cord, like an umbilical cord, from your navel to his or her navel. Just visualize that cord from your navel to their navel, like an umbilical cord. And in the next breath, imagine that you have a scissor or a knife in your hand and gently cut that cord. Just visualize that you're cutting that cord into two. And when you cut that cord into two, just say the words, I cut, I heal, and I release you. I cut, I heal, and I release you. Don't worry if the person is in your, in your presence right now, you're staying with them, they're far away, or they have even moved on into the next realm. It doesn't matter. Take a nice breath and let's do this once more. Awareness on the navel, feel the cord connecting you. And when you feel ready, just cut that cord. Just imagine that you're cutting that cord into two. It might seem that the cord is too thick, it rejoins, I'm not able to cut it. Just imagine, just fake it, that you've cut that cord into two. And once again, let's say I cut, I heal, and I release you. And let's do it one last time. Awareness on the navel, feel the cord connecting you. And then just cut that cord. Just snip that cord. And just repeat after me. I cut, I heal, and I release you. You can take that person's name from all cords that connect us at the solar plexus level. Take a nice deep breath, feeling your energy free from this person's energy. Having got the power back to choose to feel the way you wish to feel in this relationship. And then take your awareness to the center of your chest, where we have the heart, the anahata or the heart chakra. And just imagine a cord from your center, your heart center, to his or her heart center. Nice, loving, golden, silver cord of love from your heart to his or her heart. Don't worry at this moment if your mind is saying, I don't want to connect. Just do it. Just trust and do it. Trust me, trust the universe, trust the process, and just connect at the heart. Sending unconditional love to that person. Saying only ties of love remain between us. Only ties of love remain between us. Only ties of love remain between us. To see that you're lovingly blessing that person wherever they are. And you're building these healthy boundaries by disconnecting from the lower chakras and connecting just unconditionally from the heart. Nothing to give, nothing to take. Freeing up and liberating your own energy. And take a nice deep breath. And gently disconnect. And slowly you may open your eyes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just keep doing this practice. Anybody who wants me to send it to them, I'll send it in a WhatsApp message to you. Without questioning, without analyzing, rationalizing, just keep doing this. And let's see what happens. I would like all of you to join in next Sunday and share with me, even if it didn't make a difference. But do it religiously. Be honest to yourself and do it religiously.
I have a question here.
Don't give them the power. Yes, please go ahead.
Is it correct or is it ethically and morally correct to do it for someone? This process.
Meaning between two people?
Between two people, yeah. But I mean, for our children or our
well, why not? I would say you are just sending them love, and why not? It's
okay.
If they don't choose to step out of it, it's fine. But we're just trying to bring them into that bubble of love.
Yeah.
We have nothing to really gain or lose in this whole thing, except our own freedom.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So don't get the mind in. If you feel it's not ethical, or you feel that you're pushing your energy, and if you feel you have that power to do this and shift their energy totally, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Isn't it? But we are just coming into a space where we want everybody to come into this bubble of love. That's all. What they choose to do, not do, is their business.
Yeah.
Don't be attached to the outcome. Then you're coming from a very neutral space.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica. I just read some lovely messages sent by you. I wish you could share. Thank you so much.
I have a really bad cold, which is why I'm not talking.
That's okay. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for your beautiful words, and thank you for actually trusting and hanging in there. For a lot of you, I can say that, you've just been there and trusted the whole process through which I have been guided to guide you. So thank you for hanging in there. And that's why these shifts are bound to happen. They are bound to happen.
So thank you, Sujata. 'Cause I think it's been the most beautiful experience. This entire journey, I've known you for a lot of years now, and I just feel like while we do slip back, and a lot of things do come back to us as a default mode, it's just so much simpler now to be aware of it and to pull oneself out of it. I think that is my biggest learning, and um to be able to be in gratitude for everything, it's just so empowering. It just feels like whatever is happening in your life, you can just be grateful for it and everything will fall into place. There are things that happen. Sometimes I get really stressed. I'll share a very small example. I've just shifted to a new house a year back, and now my landlord called me up to say I'm going to sell this house. So I was like, oh my God, I went into panic mode. I was like, just 1 year back, I've moved everything, and how do I manage this alone? And it's going to be so tiresome, and I'll have to now start looking for a place again and all that. And then, after 2 days of being in that space, when it started affecting me so badly mentally, my migraine got triggered and everything. Then I just sat down and I was like, you know what? I was talking to the universe. I do this a lot now. So I was like, you've given this to me, so I'm sending it right back to you. Please take care of it because I don't know what to do. And but just be kind to me. That's all I'm requesting for. And that those were my exact words. And 3 days later, I get a call from my landlord to say that someone from the bank will come to evaluate my house because I want an overdraft on my business. So I'm taking it against that house. So I have dropped the idea of selling it for now. So I
Yeah.
was like, thank you so much. You know,
Yes.
it's just little things, but you see that shift happening, and it just makes you. I think it just makes your faith and belief all that more stronger.
Absolutely.
Janta, one
And I
more thing I
think,
just want to add
yeah,
to what she's saying. I think this is the gift you've given all of us at the end of the day. I mean, things happen around us, but the way in which we act and not react and not try and control, which is a very big part of me. It's now do my best, leave the rest. There's something bigger than there that knows more than I do. So that whole thought process in itself is your gift to all of us, actually.
I couldn't agree more, Preet, to what you're saying. I think it's just very, very blessed, Sue, to have you. It's just a big blessing.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. And blessed to have all of you in my heart. Really, I feel there's so much of a connection. I could just message anyone in the morning that, okay, let's join in, let's all connect and speak, and here you are. So that's such a strong bond, and it's such a lovely way to live, isn't it? It's
Yep.
powerful and a lovely way to live. So thank you, and just continue doing this. And actually, like Monica, you shared such a beautiful example, and that's really what we need to do. Just take that pause and connect back. It's like those words, Tera tujhko arpan, yours back to you. Universe, you've given me this pain. I don't know how to handle it. And I would add to it, just help me in your prayers. Just put it, that just, guide me, help me to find a way out. And you will be shown a way. There is not
Yeah.
100, but a 200 or 1,000% guarantee that you will be shown a way.
Yeah,
Just,
I think, this concept of Tera Tujhko Arpan has become such an integral part of my being now because, and how much stress I used to take, about every little thing that I used to get tensed about. And now it's just become a bit of a default thing to, okay, I'll stress because that comes to me very naturally. But then I know that I can snap out of it like this. I can just say, I'm giving this right back to you. You please take care of it for me because you are the one who can do it. and and miraculously, yeah, you were right, you are shown that way, or things fall into place.
yeah, and still, if you feel more trapped, you feel it's taking you worse, just have to take that pause, step back, just do a little forgiveness for not being able to handle it or attracting this negativity because something in your energy has attracted it. So just do a little forgiveness, cut cords, come into a little heart space, see, okay, let's see. the universe will definitely look into it and do something. So that's the trust we need to live with.
Yes.
So thank you all for being there, for your presence, for your participation. And